Have you ever walked into a room and watched people go quiet without knowing why? You're not mean, you're not arrogant, but something about you makes people uneasy, and you've never been able to figure out what. Here are 7 things you do that intimidate people, and what's actually behind each one. 1. You don't seek approval, and people don't know what to do with that. You don't laugh at things that aren't funny. You don't nod along just to keep the peace. When you disagree, you don't hide it. When something isn't worth your reaction, you don't fake one. To you, that's just honesty. You never saw the point in performing emotions you don't feel. But here's what they experience. Your neutral reaction lands like a verdict. Your silence after their joke feels like disapproval. Your honest disagreement feels like rejection, even when you meant none of it. They don't know you're just being real. They just feel like they failed some test they didn't know they were taking. So they get uncomfortable, and they start performing even harder, trying to get a reaction from you that never comes.
You notice everything about everyone except yourself. You feel shifts in people's moods before they say a word. You walk into a room and know something's off before anyone's spoken. People experience this as exposure, like you can see parts of them they haven't chosen to show. That's unsettling, even when you're doing nothing. But here's what nobody sees. You've spent so much energy tracking everyone else that you've stopped tracking yourself. You notice everyone's pain, except your own. You're usually the last person to realize when you're the one falling apart. And that quiet exhaustion, nobody around you even knows it's there. That makes you more alone than anyone around you realizes. And when you do speak, people feel that too.
3. You say what's true, even when no one asked for it. Someone shows you their idea. It has a flaw. You point it out, directly, clearly, no softening. In your head, that's respect. You're not wasting their time. You're giving them the only thing you ever really trusted, the truth. But here's what they experience. They didn't come to you for a verdict. They came to feel supported. And your honesty, however accurate, lands before they were ready for it. Now they're too deflated to fix the actual problem you correctly identified. They don't experience your directness as respect. They experience it as disappointment dressed up as feedback. And the hardest part? You were right. The flaw was real. But being right and being heard are 2 different things. And if the way you say something makes a person unable to use it, you haven't been honest. You've just been blunt.
4. Your standards are high, and you don't lower them for anyone. You're not a perfectionist for fun. You learned somewhere along the way that excellence was the safest way to exist. If you were good enough, you couldn't be rejected. If you were prepared enough, nothing could catch you off guard. So you built a standard, and you held it. Because at some point, that standard was the only thing protecting you. So you hold yourself to an unforgiving bar. And then, without thinking about it, you hold everyone else to it too. People feel that, not as motivation, as judgment. Like whatever they do, it won't be enough. So they stop trying around you, or they stop showing up at all. You're not trying to make people feel small, but the effect is the same either way.
5. You ask the questions nobody else asks. Most people keep conversations safe. Light topics, easy answers. Nobody gets too close. You skip all of that. You go straight to what's underneath. What do you actually want? What's really bothering you? What made you think that way? Not because you're prying, because shallow answers don't interest you. But most people came prepared for small talk, not self-reflection. And when your question lands, honest, direct, unexpectedly deep, They don't know how to answer. Not because it's hard, because nobody had ever asked them that before. They feel seen in a way they didn't choose. That's unsettling, even when no one had ever asked them that before. You were just trying to actually know them. But to someone who spent years keeping their surface smooth, that kind of attention doesn't feel like curiosity. It feels like a flashlight in a dark room. And you're left wondering why people keep pulling away when all you ever wanted was to get closer.
6. You share almost nothing about yourself. Someone asks you a question, you answer it. Short, clean, accurate. But you never offer more than what was asked. People call it mysterious. What it actually is protective. You learned that what you share can be used against you, so you keep the surface smooth. But connection requires an exchange. And when someone opens up and gets a clean, accurate answer instead of a piece of you back, they don't feel like they're getting to know you. They feel like they're talking at a wall. They stop trying to get close. Not because they don't want to, because they can't find the door. 7. You won't let anyone help you, and it reads as rejection. Someone tries to do something for you, fix a problem, carry something, offer support, and something in you immediately closes. I've got it, it's fine, I can handle it. You're not ungrateful. You just never learned that being helped was safe. Needing someone meant being exposed, and exposed meant vulnerable. So you learned to need no one and got very good at it. But when someone reaches toward you and you pull away, they don't feel your self-reliance. They feel the door close in their face. They stop reaching. And the wall you built to protect yourself ends up being the exact thing that keeps everyone out. None of these things make you bad. Every single one of them started as protection, a way to survive something hard. But protection can become a prison. And the people around you, the ones who go quiet, who stop reaching, who back away, they're not reacting to who you are. They're reacting to the walls. The question isn't whether you're intimidating. It's whether the person you've become still needs to be. If any of these hit close to home, drop the number in the comments. I read every one. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, send it to them. That's usually how these find the right person.